like professional.
Same time.
Jinx! You owe me a non-brand specific cola. What? That was crazy! Somebody call Guinness Book! This is incredible! Oh, we lost it.
Best friend, best friend, best friend, best friend.
Hello.
Real quick. Hey, how's it going? My name is Niger Chambers. I am of Big Go Belt Media. It's a pleasure to talk to the two of you. Dan,
Can we see that shirt? I want to see that shirt.
Can we see that? Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, the terror that flaps in the night.
I'm not giving away spoilers today, or am I? But I got so many things to ask you all.
We can talk. Darkwing Duck, just as a thing that's real in the world. I for sure love to talk about that.
I would too, actually. I kind of want to ask you all a very important question. Where have you all been the last 30 years? The world needed this.
Oh man! Well, thank you for saying that.
It only took 30 years to get this movie made.
Yeah. We've been trying. Yeah.
The moment they released Roger Rabbit, we were like, okay, let's keep going. It took, and then it just took a while.
Yeah, I thank you so much. No bias aside for this opportunity. This is my favorite movie this year.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely. This did everything it needed to do, kept my childhood intact, and kind of grew up with these characters, and kind of seeing them grow up now kind of made me shed a tear. So it was really a beautiful story. And I want to attest it to my next question, because the two of you all have done many projects together and frequent. And I think it's a testament to you two's friendship. So I kind of wanted to know, upon approaching this project, how did you kind of embody you two's friendship into this story?
Yeah, I mean, Doug and I met doing comedy in college, and so but you don't meet when you're 19, expecting to spend the next 20 years with someone, creating a career with them, and I think that's like a big part of the real emotional underside of this movie is that like long-term friendship is really complicated, and it's hard to hold on to your friends for a long time, and the more intense your friendships are, the more opportunities for them to fall apart also sometimes. And so I think that we Doug and I have been best friends for as long as we've also been working together, which means it's always been a multi-leveled relationship, and so I think putting that into Chip and Dale's history and relationship as hopefully real characters, real people living in the real world, was something that was really important to us, and that getting to an understanding that your friendships that you form over work can be as intimate and important as anything else, but the friendships have to be more important than the work itself.
Yeah. Doug, you want to add anything in there?
No, I just we wanted to tell that story, and we used a lot of our own experience as friends to put into telling a story that was going to be crazy and have all these references, but at the heart of it was about a friendship that and about two people that have gone their separate ways and maybe can't even remember why they aren't friends, or wish they had said things, but then it became too long to say what they really felt. So, it is a movie that is hopefully a celebration of friendship, and pushes people to maybe communicate just a little bit more, so you don't go 5-10 years missing out on like these relationships that make life worth living.
Absolutely. That's a really deep message there. And it's something that obviously, I relate to, and I think a lot of folks relate to. You never know, tomorrow's not promised. And I think, you want to sustain those friendships. So, reaching out and kind of rekindling things, and maybe going on an adventure if it calls for it. But
hopefully a friend of yours gets kidnapped and it's work together on it.
So which one of you all had the solo career deal?
I mean,
great question. Honestly, part of our relationship is about communication, really. So it's like we both have things that we want to do ourselves, and we have things that we want to do together. And that again, like it's really about being like, just so you know, I'm taking this project out. I'm doing this thing. Not going to be with you, but I still love you, and we're still going to do these other things together. Which is, Chip and Dale could have learned a thing or two about that. Which is, so it's It's about being comfortable as individuals and being comfortable enough to talk to your friend and say, I'm trying to do this thing solo. Or
we were in a sketch group together with several other people called Hammercats. Some amazingly talented people, including like our friend Donald Glover, who, as you know, has had quite the career. And I think that's also part of it. Is just like feeling like, oh, okay, seeing how your friends are moving on or changing, and coming to terms with the changing relationships in your life. I think that's honestly one of the hardest things to be a part of it. You never want to feel left behind, but you also never want to feel like you're holding on too tightly.
Yeah. And shout out to Donald Glover. Atlanta season 3 is its finale is this week, as your 2 movie is coming out this week.
I know.
How it's all
and this season has been
nuts.
It's just been it's I know not on for a while, but I'm just a fan now. This season has been absolutely perfect.
So I want to ask, I feel will be the audience's and fans' biggest question, which is sort of the, in the early reactions coming out about the cameos now. Now, we're not going to get into specifically to them, but I do want to know what was sort of I want to know the conversation between you two when you found out that, hey, we can use some other properties. I'm sure initially you're thinking like, oh, we can use some Disney stuff. And it's like, no. Everything, whatever you want. This is the McDonald's Wendy's war right now. Like, you can do what you want to do. And it was so good. I just want to know, what was the reactions, the conversations you all had upon knowing like Pandora's box is open?
Well, I think that we pried Pandora's box open. They didn't say go crazy, but we were writing it and we went crazy. And it was an homage to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is, when you watch that movie and you see Disney characters and Warner Brothers characters, your mind was blown. And so we wrote it and we were writing it, and the whole time we're saying, well, they're never going to make this thing. They're never going to actually make this movie. So let's just keep going. Who cares? And then, to Disney's credit, and to the lawyers at Disney, and to our producers at Mandeville, and Akiva Schaffer, our amazing director, they all got on board. So they were like, oh, I guess we got to do this. And everyone worked to get each one of those cameos in. But the chicken or the egg, we were the first ones to pry it open and say, we want all this in there. But we never thought it would actually happen. And quite honestly, me and Dan still can't believe that 3/4 of the things that you see are actually made it on. We can't believe it.
3 days away from release still, and I got to tell you, I think there might be a legal injunction at any point. Like, I'm not counting my chickens yet.
Well, with the team of Disney behind, you're going to be okay. I can show you.
They're not going to come for me.
Wow, I'm not going to Disney jail.
Oh, okay, Dale. I mean, Doug. Sorry. But I do want to know one other really quick question. Now, initially when this was pitched, it was talks about it being an origin story. That kind of makes people cringe because we kind of don't want to go back. A lot of us want to kind of go forward. And like I said, we are now seeing them mature, but we're also matured ourselves. So it's kind of that process of all growing. Was that the no-brainer, like, foundation that you two knew you had to do in terms of the story, is saying going forward, not going back?
I think the cornerstone for us was like, we really were big fans of the Disney afternoon shows growing up. It really was like important to us. And so we're fans, but at the same time, you don't need just another episode of Rescue Rangers. Like, you can go on Disney Plus and go watch the episodes. And so for us, I think, it was really important to ask this really basic question of like, why should there be a reboot? Like, why would we even do a reboot? Like, what's actually going to be improved from the original thing, or different or meaningful or modern? And so we started really just trying to put those questions about critiquing the process itself into the mouths of the characters, and having them ask the questions of like, do I really need this back in my life, or should I just be happy with the past? And I think that that's sort of at the core of all this sort of reboot culture that we live in. Of, you know, sometimes there are some things that really you really want back in the world and really deserve to have a rebirth and replacement, and other things are just sort of not necessary at all. And you know, for us, we really wanted to embody that in the concept of the world itself and the characters.
Awesome. Last question. It's a really yes or no. Please tell me, is it true? The rumor's true that you two are handling Rookie of the Year.
Oh man, we are on Rookie of the Year, where it's. Also,
I mean, we're not. Yeah, we wrote it. We wrote it with our good friend Phil Jackson, who created the show Grand Crew, which is fantastic if you haven't seen it. And we want to do it. Dan is attached to direct it, but it's you know.
So it's slow making movies. We'll see. We'll see where that goes.
Well, in 3 days, folks will be able to check out Rescue Rangers on Disney Plus. It's a fantastic movie. It is my favorite movie of the year. Hopefully, we're not waiting 30 years for Rookie of the Year, but when that comes out, I can't wait to talk about that as well.
Thank you very
much. We'll definitely come back.
Absolutely. These properties are safe in your hands. Thank you so much for what y'all have done with this, and I can't wait for the world to check it out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank y'all so much, y'all.
Thank you.